Certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. The big fella, the 40, the 20, 10, and he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jordan Thomas, 84 yards. And Washington able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. Oh, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Cleveland Browns.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
And not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 at the 38-yard line.
Now Chubb. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Taken down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now this throw caught left side. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
At the 17-yard line.
Back to throw. Buying time to his left. This is caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. Now back to throw. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. Chase Young in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
3 yards. It's now 3rd and goal.
They'll give it to Chubb, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Washington ready to try again on offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A 7-yard pickup.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Haskins. Dontrell Inman the intended target. And it's 3rd and short.
It's 3rd down and 3 yards.
Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th.
Washington.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
And again, it's Chubb. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. Now Haskins on 1st down. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Washington, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.